So going back to verse 7, zooming in a little illustration to unpack this would be, first of all, understanding that the unity is happening through a cleansing process that God is doing. Many of us in the room have done laundry before, and if you haven't, your day is coming. All right? It's coming, so you get ready. And when you do laundry, especially back in the day before color slave bleach and before, all of the new stuff that they put in it, the fruits and now the plants and all that stuff, back when it was just straight bleach and you didn't know what was in it and you didn't care, right? You were told that the right way to wash your clothes was to take the dark clothes, put them over here, the light clothes, put them in there before you put anything in the washer or the dryer. All right, somebody just learned how to wash clothes right there. You would then take the whites and wash them by themselves. You weren't saying, my white clothes are better than my black clothes by doing that. They're not better than my red clothes by doing that. They're not better than my green clothes by doing that. You weren't trying to treat the white clothes special. What you were actually doing is protecting both different color spectrums. So when you were washing these clothes and you took the lights and you threw them in, you were getting them ready to be protected from bleed from other colors and also to clean them best. Now, before y'all think I'm preaching a segregation message, let me clarify. We are light. We, all of us, are light. Now, some of our light looks different. For example, when you throw them light clothes in there, some of it got stripes. Some of it got spots. If you like vintage shirts, maybe you had a big old picture. Some of it had a big old picture on it. We are lights. Now, when God is doing this sanctification process, he removes light from dark to cleanse the light. When the light goes in, all of it comes out lighter together. But there's a situation that's happening inside of this washing machine that's so intriguing to me. He's not just trying to separate the lights from the darks, but he's also trying to remove the darks from in the light. What dark are you talking about? You ever got a stain on a shirt? You ever had a stain on your shirt when you threw it in there with all the whites? You threw it in there with all the lights and you start washing it and you pull that shirt out and this shirt is now whiter. The crazy thing about it is when that stain was on that shirt and it went into that wash machine, that stain became everybody's stain. That stain became everybody's stain. What was happening in there was this process of clothes rubbing up against each other, the process of whatever the cleansing product is, lifting the stain off, and now that everybody in there, everything in there is bearing that burden. Are y'all following me here? Galatians chapter 6, verse 2, it comes to mind when it tells us to bear one another's burdens. See, we are being sanctified. We are being cleansed. We're not being separated for no purpose. We're being separated in order to be cleansed more appropriately and more safely and more uniformly and to be cleansed and be helped by one another in that process. This is a little picture of what it might mean. See, some of us are like, well, I just throw them all in there all together. There's reasons why you can do that now. But back then, if you would have done that, your whites, your lights would have come out pink. And it would have been your fault. Because you didn't read the instructions. But that's kind of like what it looks like when we try to mix the darks with the light. Everything gets messy. Everything's getting messy. Now, don't hear me say that those darks in our life don't matter and that we're supposed to keep the lights on this side and the whites on this side. That's not the case because you all go back into the same closet. You all come out of the same closet. You're all the same, on the same body. That's not the case. It's not the purpose just to set it apart to put it in a different closet. No, no, no. Our brightest lights can make those darkest darks, y'all. I'm talking about us at this point. Our brightest lights can make those darkest darks new, different. When we look and we embody what it means to be a one brand new creation, like Colossians kind of talk about one new man. When we look and be like how Jesus died for us to be, we impact the darkness that's around us. So let me make this one point. The Lord is not just setting us apart. He's not just setting us apart from folks in darkness. He's also cleansing the darkness from inside of us. He will have us sanctified, y'all. He will have us unified. And these things have come to pass, and so they are coming to pass. Those whom are his are being one. And you might keep asking, like, in your head or in your mind, I get it, but it'd be so much easier to do it this way. Why is it so important that the Lord have us sanctified and cleansed, lighter lights? Well, we can look at verse 20 through 23. And Jesus gives us a really strong picture and explanation of why that's so important. So you can turn right down to John 17, verse 20 through 23. Jesus says, I don't ask for these only, so he's talking about his 12. I don't ask about these only, but also for those who will believe in me through their word, that they may all be one, just as you, Father, are in me and I in them, that they also may be one in us, so that the world may believe that you have sent me. You looking for your importance? There it is. Verse 22 repeats it. The glory that you have given me, there's that word again, I have given them, that they may be one, even as we are one. I in them, you and me, that they may become perfectly one. It sounds like he cares about this oneness a lot. But here's why. So that the world may know that you have sent me and loved them, even as you have loved me. See, in this statement, Jesus has made it clear how we handle our oneness is going to be a direct evidence to the entire world that God has sent his son. How we handle our oneness, his church's unity, is evidence of the gospel. God sending the son, is that not the climactic point of the entire gospel? God incarnate, God in flesh, coming here for us, for the world, for all creation, living the life we couldn't have lived and dying the death that we should have died. Being raised again from the grave. He hangs the burden of proof, or a burden of proof, on the sacrifice of his son and the power of the Spirit, as shown by the fruit of unity that it produces within us, his people. That's why it's so important, because the world will know when the world sees. So this not reaching across the aisle, this bitterness, this frustration, this upset to the point where you just leave instead of stay and fight and make better, like this is counteractive to what the church should be doing and preaching. Presenting a unified church testifies to both the sentness of Jesus and his power. So we got to be committed to do whatever it takes to partner with God in this aspect of our lives. Remember, as the flesh of the Savior separates, those who call upon his name come together. God's glory revealed in our oneness, causes many to believe. I and them and me, all are one, that they be perfectly one, so that the world may know that you have sent me.